Hello everyone, this is Raja here, and in today's video we are going to discuss about a very important topic if you have an e-commerce website, and that is taxes. So taxes is one of the most gray area that few of the peoples and many of the peoples are not aware of, that how the tax system works. Basically, taxing is giving a particular amount of money to the government, because you are selling your product. Maybe it can be goods or it can be services to your customers, and you are getting a value out of it, and from that value you are basically giving a small percentage of value to the government, as in a form of a sales tax or a goods or service tax or VAT, depending upon in which country you basically live. So this can be a very annoying thing, because most of us, when we set up a e-commerce website, are not aware of how the things works in taxes. So the best option is to go and have a accountant to deal with this, and to have set up all these taxes in our store. But when you get the information how you are going to set up your store, so that it can abide by whatever the tax policies or the tax law are there in your in the place where you are selling your product. So basically, if you are in WooCommerce, it gives you a setting from where you can start calculation of taxes. You can include the price of include the tax in your product when you are selling it. Let's see how it works altogether, and in the end I'll show you a plugin also that can help you automate everything that we are discussing in this video. So when you are having an e-commerce website, you basically have WooCommerce in WordPress, and if you go to WooCommerce and then you go to settings in the dashboard, in general you will see an option here stating enable taxes. So, enable tax rates and calculation. Rates will be configurable and tax will be calculated during checkout. So, basically, if you check this, your tax calculation tab will appear here, and then you can configure your tax calculation depending upon from which country you are actually are or you are selling your products to. So what I did, I just enabled this checkbox, and I saved the changes, and you see a tax tab appears here. So if I go into that tab, there are a lot of questions that need to be answered, like prices entered with tax. So this is something like which you can answer that, how you would like your store prices to be appear. Like currently you can see that my store prices are just 4,850 pounds. It's stating like that, but uh, like uh, uh, do you want to enter this price, whatever it is, that price will be inclusive of tax or exclusive of tax. So if you are including the tax in this price, so basically that means this price contains your tax. But if you exclude it, uh, no, I will enter prices exclusive of tax. That means this price is exclusive of tax, and a customer will have to pay taxes over this price, and the total sum amount of money that he will be paying for this product will be more than what it is written over here. So this is something that this is your site setup, and it depends upon how you want to configure your site. So I always like to suggest people's make it inclusive of tax, because when your customer or your audiences who are there for your website, they see a price, they basically think of that this is the total price that they need to pay for the product. But uh, then if you add it to your cart, and then you go out to the checkout page, and then you see that your product is charged more, then it sometimes can result in your driving away of your customers, and because they don't like to pay more amount for that product. So it's better to show the things upfront, that it is the total amount that will be needed. You can write here that shipping charges can be extra or something like that, because shipping depends upon where or in which part of the country this product needs to be shipped, and depending upon the size of the product and distance where it will be shipped, that shipping charge may vary, and that is understandable. But the price of the product, including taxes, should stay the same. So I generally suggest people to keep it like this. Then you have another option called calculate tax based on. So basically, you get three options down here. You can calculate tax based upon the shipping address, actually where the address of the customer where the shipping need to be done, or the billing address. This can be different. Like suppose you are buying a product for your friend who is living in a different state or a province other than yours. You want to be bill the bill you want in your address, but the product need to be shipped to the person's address. So accordingly, you can make the changes. Like you can have the person provide taxes depending upon the place where it is being shipped, the product is being shipped, or the place where the product is being billed to. So depending upon that, because in different states and different provinces, the tax rates are different, and accordingly this will vary. You can also configure it based upon your shop based address. So these are something that you need to connect with your legal advisor and need to check with your accountant, that depending upon which area you are running your e-commerce website and how you are going to configure that. So these are very crucial things that need to be addressed. So I always suggest you to get in touch with accountant and your legal advisor when you are starting your e-commerce website, because many a times people, what they do, like they start selling their product, and sometimes it's a big boom of your e-commerce website, and you started earning a lot of money, and then suddenly the government find that out, and they come from the back, and they charge you for not paying sales tax or goods and services tax and VAT and all that. So this is going to hurt you a lot, and you don't want to go that way. So if you are just setting it up, please ensure that you are setting it up in the correct manner. That matters. So there's another option called shipping tax class. Here it basically it says that how do you want to tax the items that are being shipped. So there are shipping classes. These are standard reduced and zero rates classes of taxes. These are something which we will be discussing. You can have any of these rates during in your shipping taxes, or you can have the same shipping tax class based on the cart item. So you can keep it this way basically. Rounding is another thing. Like if you want to round your taxes based upon the subtotal level and not on the total level, so this can be something that you need to check. Additional tax classes, you can add additional tax classes or you can remove it if you have a generic tax class. These tax classes is configurable, and we will discuss about it what are the tax class. So in a minute or two, so just wait for that. Display price in the shop. So the display price will be excluding tax or including tax, and display prices during cart and checkout, display uh, the price which you are showing during the checkout. Will it include tax or not? It will be how you want to maintain that. So these are the options that you want to show it to a customer when he is seeing a product, or when he's doing a checkout. Price display suffix is something like, you can add these options like including taxes, or including VAT, or including GST. And if you do a save change, then it basically, if you see your product, then you will see that here it is now saying including taxes. So I'll prefer this, because this gives a better idea to the customer that okay, this is the total money I need to pay, and there is nothing more I need to pay additionally over this, and there is no other overhead for me to buy this product. So this is a very good option, and I always suggest my clients, like, to have this option enabled for them. Then displays tax totals, so you can have this itemized or a single total. Keep it itemized, and this is it. Like, this is all the setting that you need to do. And next is the rates, the stacks classes. So you can enable any of these stacks classes, and it will work well for you, or you can enable more than one for you. So basically what you do is, you need to insert a row, and you need to insert a country code, for which you need to define the tax details. So suppose sorry, suppose I want to define the tax details for US, and then or say UK, United Kingdom, and it will take as GB, and you can like have a specific state code, or you can like, you want to sell in all the state code, or if you want to sell in all the states, then you need to keep it as star, to enable selling in all the states, or the postal zip code, if you want to like have specifically doing things like that, and the city. And you can give the tax rate. You can give it 5% or 10%, depending upon that. You can name your tax. You can name it as anything like, maybe a VAT, or you can give a priority. Priority is basically something which applies to your tax system. Depending upon that, it will be configured like, if you choose priority of this tax rate, only one matching uh, rate per priority will be used. To define multiple tax rate for a single area, you need to specify a different priority rate per rate. Like, suppose you have a country tax, maybe, or a central tax, or a federal level tax, and then you have a provincial level tax. So you can set this priority to 1 for the state level tax, which will be applicable to all the products that they are buying. And there can be, you can insert another row, and for any province you can, or for any state you can write mention a tax rate. Like, you can mention like GB, and you can enter any province here or a state here, and you can have another tax rate of 5% that will add upon it, and accordingly you can do it. So this is applicable in the countries where there is two types of tax systems are there, one from the central or a federal level, and then from a state or a provincial level. So generally in US and Canada, these kind of taxes are in place. So you can take the opportunity to have that. And when you do that, make this priority 2, then every time a product is being bought, depending upon what is the state code or a zip code that you mention over here, or basically the state code is what you mention over here. Depending upon that, the priority 2 plus priority 1, both of the taxes will be applied on the items that the user is buying. Then you have this shipping option enabled, that you want to apply taxes on the shipping. And there is also an option called compound, which is basically stating that if you want to apply compounded rate or not. So this is something you can check with your advisor and see that what is happening at your places. So this is the option like which you can do if you want to set it up manually. So it's a lot of overhead, and you need to ensure that you are putting in correct details over here, because whenever there will be some tax like executive who will come to you and ask for your sales tax informations or goods or service tax information, you need to be able to provide it the details to that person. So basically that is the thing. And if you want to automate this altogether, then you can also like have one product or one plugin which can help you like automate this thing, but it is limited to some of the countries only. And basically that plugin name is called a TaxJar. And let me show you that. Let's go to install plugin, and here you are. This is the plugin that is there, a TaxJar sales tax automation for WooCommerce. You can see the definition. What it says is saves hours every month by putting your sales tax on autopilot, automated multi-state sales tax calculation, collection and filing. So basically it will calculate multi-state sales tax. It will create reports or collections of the tax, and it can do auto filing also for you. So if you enable that feature for yourself, you can have the auto filing also being done for you depending upon that. So if you go to the setting of that tax jar, you basically need to configure few options in the tax jar. uh, in the tax jar, you need to provide your API token, which is basically here. And this API token you need to get it from here after clicking here. So basically, if you don't know how to get this plugin, I will keep a description. I will keep a URL in the description box. You can click on that and you can download the plugin from there, and then you can click here. You can set it up, install the plugin, set it up, and you can click here login to the ID, and you can set up your API token and start reporting your taxes. Like, you need to enable these options like sales tax calculation you need to enable, and sales tax reporting. If you want the reports to be submitted automatically, then you need to be enable these features. And you need to give the shipping details and the shipping ship from city, these stuffs. And you if you want to enable logging, you need to enable the logging also. So after you do these options, basically this tax jar will do a automatic calculation and filing, and it is applicable in only these countries. It is in North America. For US and Canada, if you are there, you can use TaxJar. If you are in Australia, your e-commerce website is in Australia, you can use TaxJar. And if you are in the European Union, all these countries are there who can use TaxJar. And it's not only like WordPress and WooCommerce, but you can also use this TaxJar capability with a lot of the e-commerce platform that you sell your product with. If you are using Shopify, or you are using Amazon, or you are using any other platform, there are a lot of the supports that TaxJar basically provide. So this is something, a dashboard which you will get or in tax jar. Initially, like, you will have to pay a fee, but after you pay that fee, you generally initially it is free, basically, sorry. And after uh, you have for the some period of a month or something, and after you're done with that, you need to pay some charges. And here you see, like, you can have these all you can work with Amazon, Shopify, BigCommerce, Squarespace, and stuff like that. And you can, like, you have the settings, like you have a dashboard where your all your sellings and your matrices will be there. You can have your transaction, you can have auto filing, exemption, you can see the plans and billings from here, account plans and billings, which will show you here. So a plan and billing is like 1K transaction per month. You need to pay only $19 per month. If you have 5K transaction per month, you need to pay only $49 a month. You have 10K transaction per month, you have to pay $99 per month. So these are the prices, these are the plans. So need to check these all in the tax jar. Is basically a lot of peoples are working with tax jar and they are helping them a lot. So so that's it, guys. So if you think if you are setting up e-commerce website, it's very important to set up your tax details, and there are two ways of doing it. Like if you are like just I'll suggest, like, first go to a accountant or a legal advisor who knows about these stuffs, like taxes and sales taxes and stuffs in your country, or if you are dealing with multiple countries, then how you are managing things. And then you can accordingly, after discussion with him, you can set it up here, and then you can set up the standard rates, and then you can apply it on the products in your e-commerce website. And if you are in any of these countries, you can use the application called TaxJar, which you can use to have your sales tax calculated automatically. And even you can file in your report also, sales tax report, and you can easily leverage that and save a lot of hours and a lot of people's that you probably need to hire for doing this activity for your e-commerce website. So let me know, guys, what do you think about this video, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I have a URL for TaxJar in the description of this video. So if you want to buy that product, you can click on the link in the description and go to TaxJar and buy their plans. And you can not only automate your sales tax collection, calculation and filing in WordPress, but also if you have any other platform like Amazon or Shopify and stuff like that. So let me know what you think about this website. Give it in your comments, what else you want to see from me, and if you think this video is good and you got to learn something from this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll again meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, and have a good time.